That's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I choose love, love, love. Love, love, love. I choose it, love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I choose peace, 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 peace. Peace, peace, peace. I feel it, peace, 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 peace. I choose peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I choose joy, joy, joy. I feel it, joy, joy, joy. Every day it's joy, joy, joy. I'm choosing joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day.
Well, yes, but good morning, Celebration Center for Spiritual Living, and welcome. We're so glad that you're here, whether you're joining us online on the live stream or here in person. Either way, I am so glad to see you. If you are wearing an ugly/crazy sweater, then please, Ivor, there's actually a banner for this. If you want to post it, there's a hashtag. Please take a picture of yourself, post it on social media, and use the hashtag Celebration Center Ugly Sweater Sunday. And as you can see, I am wearing my Meowie Catmas sweater, and it makes me very happy. So, I hope that you are enjoying your ugly sweater if you are at home, and I am enjoying seeing ugly sweaters here. Also, we are continuing our Power of 8 Healing Circle and book study on Wednesdays. That is every Wednesday through February 2nd from 7 to 9:15, and that is being led by our practitioner, Jen Fay, as well as Reverend Faith Woods. And I have been going. It has been amazing and powerful. The book is wonderful, and I'm sure that it will continue to grow and blossom and flourish. Also, beginning in the new year, every first Sunday of the month, we are going to be doing a Science of Mind 101 Q&A. After the service, anybody who's new to Science of Mind or new to this teaching, who wants to just ask some questions or get to know what we believe a little bit more, you can come join us for this. It will be in person for the first Sunday in January, and then moving forward, beginning in February, it will be a hybrid in-person and online, so you can come either way. It will be on Zoom and here in Height Hall. So please join us for that on January 2nd, directly after the service. Also on January 2nd, it is the first Sunday of the new year, and so we are going to be offering a releasing ceremony and a white stone ceremony. So the white stone ceremony is something that I have been doing for about a decade now. I learned it from my church, Unity of Houston, and it is profound and powerful for me, so I'm excited to bring it to all of y'all. If you are here in person in Height Hall, then we will have all the materials for you. If you are joining us on the live stream, then please just bring a pen and paper. If you have a stone that you would like to use, you can bring that. But if not, no big deal. Just bring yourself and a pen and a piece of paper. On January 9th, after the service, here in Height Hall, this is going to be in person, our Ed Preston, our emeritus practitioner, is going to be doing treasure mapping. This is something he has done every year for many, many years. We're so excited that he's going to be bringing that back again. We didn't do it last year because of the pandemic, but we will be doing it this coming January 9th from 12:30 to 5. So you can we will have materials for you, bring magazines or anything that you would like to add to your own personal treasure map, and Ed Preston will be leading that. And then finally, I want to let y'all know that the Leadership Council and myself have been keeping an eye on everything that is going on with the pandemic and the new variants of the virus and everything like that. And we're noticing that numbers are spiking and things are increasing. And so just as a reminder that if you are here in Height Hall, please wear your mask at all times when you're in the building. Try not to eat or drink as much as possible, just so that we can all stay masked and stay safe, socially distance. And also we are asking one another before any hugging or handshaking or anything like that. You can just ask somebody if you would like to hug them. You can say, would you like a hug? Understanding that it's not personal if they say no, but we're all just doing what we would like to keep each other safe. In addition, the Leadership Council and myself are going to be monitoring the numbers and deciding whether we need to move back to all online services again. And so please, we will put that up. If that happens, we will put it up on the website. We will also put out messages through our email group. We'll put it up on Facebook. So before you come on next Sunday especially, just double check the website, double check your email, make sure that we're still having in-person services, just because we are monitoring and deciding what to do as things come out and as the CDC makes recommendations and as Fairfax County releases those numbers and tells us what's best for everyone. So please stay tuned for all of that, and I so appreciate y'all's willingness to be flexible and to pivot as we find out more information. As y'all can see, I'm wearing a mask today as well, so that everybody in the room is masked at all times while we're here together. With all of that being said, I am so excited because we have Jody Marshall here with the Hammer Dulcimer, and I will be talking a little bit more about her when I introduce her after her or before her next song. We also have Jen Fay as our platform practitioner, and then I will be speaking today on the light of a new dawn. So it's going to be an amazing service, and if you are here in the room, I invite you to make sure your cell phone is on silent, but you are welcome to get on the live stream and say hi on Facebook or YouTube if you would like. And now, as we do every week, I would love to invite you to say our vision aloud as a reminder of where we are all headed together. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. And yes, we are. And so, Jody, would you like to open us with a song?
I just love that sound. So good morning and welcome everyone here in person. We do have a few people here, and those online that are joining us today. Please let us know who you are, where you are, and of course, a picture of your ugly sweater. I followed the I can't remember her name. She's the Japanese woman that does decluttering. One year I followed her suggestion about getting rid of anything that doesn't bring you joy. So I don't have any ugly sweaters. so I'm not participating today. So we practitioners and Science of Mind, one of our most powerful practices is prayer. And so if you would like prayer, please feel free to go to the website, and there is a button there, request affirmative prayer. You can also send an email to prayer@celebrationcenter.org. And those of you in the room, there's, of course, the prayer request cards that you can put in the basket. All right, so do participate in the powerful practice of prayer. It is really something in transforming anything that you want to be, any area where you want change. I have a reading today from Ernest Holmes. This is from his book, This Thing Called You, one of my favorite books. The creative law which you use is like a mirror. The thought you hold before it is like a mirror. The mirror reflects the image you hold before it. Hold it there with faith and expectancy, with enthusiastic conviction, and with undenying trust. The only thing that can hinder you is yourself. The only thing that can help you is yourself. Because it is you who reflects the image in the mirror. Please join me for prayer. And as we bring our awareness to the presence of love, to the presence of light, and peace and joy, that all of those wonderful qualities and so much more are right here. It is the presence of Spirit that lives within each of us, expressing through and as each of us. And so as we recognize this presence within as a powerful mirror, that as we see ourselves and reflecting that divinity, that yes, we are human and we are divine. And as we affirm our divinity and are willing to be that more, we are. For that thought is reflected through us, as us. And so I simply relax into this moment of awareness, this moment of opening up to the grace that is right here. And perhaps even feeling this sense of being filled with whatever qualities you're seeking. That as we feel this fullness, that we send it out in our own thoughts, from our own hearts. We send it out into the world like a blessing, like a wave of love, an energy field that flows out into the world. There's so much celebration and love and light right now. And we amplify that with our thoughts. As I think of the idea of the light of a new dawn, I hold the intention that humanity begins to come together in a new way. Or perhaps amplifying what is already going on by those who are exploring other cultures, embracing that which is different, because their wise being tells them that if we knew all the other cultures' wisdom, we would know the wisdom of the world. And so I affirm that vision and am grateful for the inspiration behind it. releasing these words in gratitude into that law that responds perfectly, beautifully, powerfully to what I believe and what each of us believes. I know we are blessed. I know we are moving forward in powerful ways into this light of a new dawn. And so it is.
So I would like to tell y'all a little more about Jody before she plays her next song. So the first time that Jody saw and heard a hammered dulcimer, which is what she is playing right now, if you don't know, she knew she had to learn to play it. She received one for Christmas one year and was soon playing everything from traditional jigs and reels to Mozart, the Beatles, and beyond. Her performance credits include the White House, the Kennedy Center, and Wolf Trap's Feline Center for the Performing Arts. And so I know we are so blessed to have Jody here, and I look forward to hearing another song from you. Oh, absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. Growing up in Black Mountain, I heard a lot of hammered dulcimer. Black Mountain, North Carolina, and so you're bringing me back to my childhood for sure. Oh, let's see. The Light of a New Dawn. So that is the title that was given to me by Home Office for this morning's talk. And one of the things, I appreciate that that Jen mentioned that this idea of the light of a new dawn, when we understand one another and when we truly show up to one another in our authenticity and in our brilliance and in understanding that everybody else is showing up in their brilliance, whatever that may look like, that is the light of a new dawn, that this idea that when we are open to understanding one another and understanding other cultures and beliefs and ways of being and showing up in the world, that truly is going to usher us into this new age. And as I say all of that, it also, I think about that time that is the darkest is right before the dawn, right? And so even as we look out and maybe we see things that we don't want to see, or it looks really hard to look in our world, we know that light of a new dawn is coming. And so I say all of that because I want to talk a little bit about Kwanzaa today. Kwanzaa begins today. It runs every year from December 26th to January 1st. And it is a beautiful celebration. It's an African American holiday that really celebrates African culture globally. And so I have a video that Ivor is going to play for us that gives us just a little bit of the history and the understanding of what Kwanzaa is and why it is celebrated and why it is such an important holiday, especially now. This video is back in 2017, but I think that even today it's even more important that we understand the tenets of Kwanzaa. Okay, we will not be playing a video. That's totally fine. So I will post the link to the video into the chats of both YouTube and Facebook after I'm done speaking so that you can go watch the video on your own. So in that video, I have all of the information here. So this holiday was started in 1966 by Dr. Maulana Karenga. And he is a professor of, I believe, African Studies at the University of California. And he started this in the wake of the Watt Riots, thank you. The Watt Riots in California, where there was police brutality against a black man. And at that time in 1966, there weren't all of the cameras and phones and body cams and all of that we have today, but there was a crowd that witnessed the brutality, and so it sparked these riots and a lot of police brutality and a lot of fighting back and forth between the African American community and the police, which continues to this day. And so he created this holiday, Kwanzaa, with 7 tenets. And so every day there's a different tenet that is celebrated. So today, as the first day, is Umoja, which stands for unity. And it's to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. Tomorrow is Kujichagulia, which is self-determination. To define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. On day 3 is Ujima, collective work and responsibility to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and solve them together. Day 4 is Ujama, cooperative economics, to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses to profit from them together. And so as a reminder, this is the African American community, and so really that Black-owned businesses and making sure that we're supporting our small businesses and our minority-owned businesses. On day 5 is Nia, which is purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. Kumba, day 6, creativity, to always do as much as we can in the way that we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it. And finally, day 7, Imani, faith, to believe with all our heart in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. And so we can, these tenets, while they are for the African American community and while they are for and celebrating African culture globally, we can really understand more of the importance of understanding other cultures and our own, and of making the world a better place. And so Kwanzaa is a really beautiful holiday, and like I said, I will post that video so that you can watch it later on your own time. It's only about 3 minutes long. And so as I was thinking about this idea of the light of a new dawn and Kwanzaa and just everything that's going on. And we're kind of in this sort of gray area, nebulous, time doesn't really exist, not quite here or there, that week between Christmas and New Year's, right? Like maybe you're going to work, but I don't know, when I worked in an office, I never really got much done this week. And when I worked with my autistic people and clients, we always just kind of partied it up this week. They usually didn't work, and we just all got to have a good time. And so there's kind of this like weird sort of in between that it feels like this week, which is why we're doing ugly sweaters. This will be a yearly tradition. So get your ugly sweaters. If you go tomorrow, you can get them on sale, right? Because everybody's trying to get rid of them in the store. So go ahead and get it for next year so you'll have it. And I was thinking about what does this time hold, right? And I've talked to y'all about how historically I've used this week to kind of set my intentions and build out what my next year is going to look like. Well, the reason that this time is so ripe for that is because we're just kind of sitting in this sort of mystery space, right? We're not quite in 2021 anymore, not really. But we're not yet in 2022. We're just kind of sitting in this sort of in-between space. And in that space, there's a lot of mystery. And mystery is so beautiful and so captivating. We were talking about mystery last week at Soul Evolution Collaborative, and it was really interesting to listen to different people's experiences of mystery and of the mystery of, ourselves and learning more about ourselves, or of the universe, or of really just what's up ahead in our lives. And that some people were like, I don't like the mystery, I want a plan and a plan for the plan. And then some people were like, I love stepping into this mystery and I love just kind of showing up and seeing what happens. Because what that invites is this sort of beautiful expectancy. It's this fertile ground. Susanna Licko says, a mystery is the most stimulating force in unleashing the imagination. And so what we know is that our imagination, our thoughts are creative, that we have power in our thinking and in our imagination and in envisioning what our lives can look like, what our worlds can look like. And so when we're willing and able to just kind of sit in the mystery, then what we're doing is unleashing our imagination in this really profound way that supports us in creating something new, something radically different, something that we've never seen before. We say that principle is not bound by precedent. So that means that just because something has always been this way, or we've always done it this way, or it's always shown up this way in the past, that does not matter. That what we know is that principle, this thing, this essence, this oneness that is who we are at the very essence of our being, that is not bound by what has come before, but instead at any moment and every moment, everything can radically shift. And we can see that in my life a year ago when in the span of a week, now granted there was a lot of lead up to it and a lot of after, but in the span of a week, literally every single aspect of my life changed. I moved across the country to not only a different state, but a different coast. I left my partner at the time. I didn't have all of my animals. I didn't have any of my furniture or my stuff. I took a new job. I licensed as a minister. Everything changed. Literally, my entire life did a 180 in 1 week. I went from this life that I had known that was comfortable and easy to a brand new life. And what allowed me, almost a year ago, I think we left on January 4th, so we're coming up on 1 year, right? And what allowed me to do that was this willingness to sit in the mystery and to understand that in by sitting in the mystery and by holding the vision for what I wanted so clearly, that I was ushering it in. But it took this, in order to do that, I couldn't just go to sleep in California and wake up in Virginia. I wish I could have, because that would have been much easier. But instead, I had to pack my house and move all of my stuff and drive cross country 3,000 miles and take care of the animals and take care of the plants and, unpack or pack up the budget truck and then unpack the budget truck. And I had to, drive here and move in, and there were people here waiting for me and all of this stuff. So there was this in-between transitional space. And when we're able to look at these transitions as this beautiful mystery and this beautiful time of expectancy, rather than this, oh God, I have to do this thing, or, this is going to be so hard, or I want to line up exactly what's going to happen and make it all fit in and have this plan, when instead we can just unclench and relax ever so slightly. Then we are stimulating our imagination and we are allowing spirit, that thing that is us, but also knows more than we do because we're showing up in these human forms, allowing that to come in and the beautiful synchronicities and the divine mysteries and those things that we couldn't have planned or couldn't have known. All of a sudden, all of that can come into our lives. Ernest Holmes says about expectancy, he says, expectancy speeds progress. Therefore, live in a continual state of expectancy. No matter how much good you are experiencing today, expect greater good tomorrow. Try this magic of expectancy and you will soon discover a dramatic side to your work, which gives full vent to constructive feeling. Expectancy speeds progress. And so the more that we can step back and be in these sort of numinous in-between spaces, the more that we can allow the mystery that is everywhere, always present, the more that we can allow that to inform and direct our lives, the more that we are speeding our own progress, and the more that we can sit in our own expectancy and in the brilliance of what our imagination can unfold and reveal. And so when I'm sitting in these spaces, because we like to know, like human minds, we like to know things, right? Like I want to know what time it is. I want to know if somebody asks me a question and I don't know the answer. I want to grab my phone and look it up. Thank God for Lord Google, right? I want to know, and that's natural. We want to know what's going to happen, and we want to know what people are going to say. And I don't know about y'all, but if I have to have a hard conversation or I don't know what somebody's going to say, I play it out in my mind. And I make up what they're going to say, and then I make up what I'm going to respond to them, and then it never goes that way, right? But we do this thing where we want to know, we always want to know. And that's beautiful. That's the way that our minds were created. And yet, we can't know. We can't always know everything. We're never going to know everything. And so, to me, what I do to kind of usher in this expectancy and make it a little more gentle for myself is I like to, this is going to sound very lofty, it's not quite this lofty, but I like to contemplate the mysteries of the universe, right? So I like to think about, I like to read a lot of science fiction because it's just all of these different ideas and ways of being that aren't happening yet, but maybe could be happening. And imagine what life might be like on other planets and what it might be like to exist outside of my own sphere of life, outside of this, my daily going about my business life, right? And so the first thing that I thought of, because I do watch and read a lot of science fiction, when I heard The Light of a New Dawn, I think it reminded me somewhere in the back of my head of some sci-fi books that I've read, but I started thinking about, what does dawn look like on other planets? This is where my brain went. And we don't really know, right? Because none of us have been on another planet, at least in these physical forms. And yet, I went to Google and I did some researching, and I found an artist's rendering of what it might look like at dawn on all of the different planets in our solar system. And so I sat there and I flipped through. I'm going to show them to y'all in a second. I sat there and I flipped through, and I just thought about how big our universe is. How big, right? And how, to me, moving cross country from coast to coast several times now, right, that feels so big, right? And that feels so magical and brilliant, and there's this mystery to it about it. And yet it's still just this tiny sphere in the grand scheme of all of life. And then I sit in it and I wonder, what would it be like to stand on this planet and to watch this dawn? And then, for that matter, because I don't see dawn very often, I wake up before sunrise on Sunday mornings, but that's it. 6 other days a week, I'm asleep at sunrise. And so I think about the magic that exists even on this planet, the mystery that exists even on this planet. And even though we can talk about, water vapor in the atmosphere, and that's what creates the different colors and the rainbow and the this and that at sunrise, when we set down that mind that wants to know, and we just witness, there's something so magical and so mysterious in these moments in between, in that moment before dawn and right as dawn breaks and right after dawn. There's just this mystery that exists, and that mystery is what invites me to that expectancy. So, Ivor, what I'm going to have you do is pull them up in order, starting with Mercury, and just leave each one up for about 20-ish seconds. So this is Mercury. And so as you know, Mercury is closer to the sun than we are. And so it would be, I believe I saw about 2.5 times bigger than the sun would be, than it is here. Just imagine yourself standing on those rocks, watching the sun rise above an alien planet. That is a very good question, because it is an artist rendering. That's a really good question, Melinda. Melinda asked, for those of you who are on live stream, why are there so many stars out if the sun is out? And I said, because it is an artist rendering. All right, you can go on to the next one, Ivor. So this is Venus, and as we know, Venus is incredibly hot, and it has a very thick atmosphere. And so you can see the sun off to the left and up above, but you wouldn't actually be able to see the sun like you would on Earth because of the cloud cover. Yes, there's a lot of molten lava on Venus. Yep. Mars, this is Mars. So on Mars, now we've passed the Earth, and the sun is getting smaller and further away. And so we know more about Mars, I think, than we do any other planet, because we have sent rovers and we have pictures, and we know that there's this red, rocky Martian landscape. This is, which moon is it, Ivor? Europa. So this is a moon of Jupiter, and so you can actually see the sun rising beyond Jupiter in this picture. And so I think in this one, Melinda, all of the stars are apropos because the sun hasn't quite come up yet, but standing on Europa, we can see that the sun is coming around and it's very tiny. They've also found that there are signs that water is still on Europa, that Europa is actually an ice moon. And so they think that it would be a good candidate for life because of all of the water. And so this is somewhere that our descendants will probably go one day and stand, and they might see this exact picture, or one that is close to it, as they look out. This is Saturn. And so you can see the sun very tiny off to the left. But standing on Saturn, you would be able to see the rings of your own planets. And I think about, what if we lived on a planet that had rings, and that was just an everyday view for us? And would we become as complacent about that view as we do about our own view and the mystery and the magic that is here? It does look like a boat, doesn't it, Melinda? Like we're sitting on a very tiny rowboat watching this giant boat come by. And then if there was somebody who came from a planet like that to Earth, would they find our view as incredible and majestic as we would find this view? Next is Uranus, Ivor. And this is Uriel. So this is another moon, so you can see Uranus in the forefront. And then the sun beyond it, and we are standing on Uriel, Uranus's moon. The sun would be almost just another star at this point. It would be so far away from it. It would be only a little bit bigger. Probably showing up much like Venus shows up in our night sky. Just a little bit brighter. Next is Neptune. Which moon is this? Triton. So we are standing on Triton, where they know that there are these gas vents, and that's what you can see there with Neptune in the distance. And then finally Pluto. And so Pluto, the sun is so far away that its moon is much bigger than the sun would be. Unlike here, where our sun and our moon are similarly sized because of the distances, and at least they appear to be in our eyes, right? They're not. The moon is much smaller. And yet on Pluto, the sun would look much smaller compared to its moon. Pluto is the small. Pluto is not even considered a dwarf planet or a planet anymore. They're now calling it a dwarf planet. Yes. So they don't teach right here. It's one of Pluto's moons, I believe, or it's Neptune. I honestly didn't read that, but I'm assuming it's a moon. All right, thank you, Ivor. Right? So what would it be like if we approached the Earth the same way that we approach looking at these images? And if we looked out at our own landscape and all of the magic that exists here, the same way that we would look out over those rocky, barren landscapes, at all of the trees and the nature and the plants and the animals and the other humans and all of the things that we have built, and the water and the sea creatures and the bacteria and the viruses and all of it is just as magical as this is. And so what if we sat in the expectancy, sat in that mystery and that magic in such a way that it created this expectancy of knowing that everything is unfolding for our divine perfection, and that the light of a new dawn is always coming, that everything is cyclical in nature. And so as we are sitting in the darkest time of year, that even now, just a few days later, the light is returning, and that every night as it gets dark, we can trust and know that we can make it through this because another dawn is coming. Always, always and forever. And so this can be true in our own lives as well. When we feel like we're sitting in a dark night of our own soul, we can sit in the expectancy of knowing that we have sprouted and just simply not bloomed yet. And that light is coming, that bloom is coming. And we can sit in the expectancy of knowing our own divinity and of knowing that God is in this place. And that, for me, brings me a lot of hope and joy and comfort and peace and surrender. Understanding and knowing that this dawn is always coming. It is always returning. And so no matter how dark it might look right now, the next moment the sun could come up over the horizon and all of a sudden everything is bathed in light. And so I invite you to close your eyes and just stand in dawn, in your mind's eye. Maybe you're standing in that moment of the light breaking over the horizon here on Earth, or maybe it's on one of these other planets. And just breathe in that moment of, oh, there it is, there's the light. The darkness, all of a sudden, that seemed so overpowering and so overwhelming, it's not even a thing anymore. It's simply gone. It is just nothing returning to nothing. Because what we know is that the light is all that there is, this thing that we equate to light, and really it is just everything. It is consciousness, it is oneness, it is awareness, it is presence, it is light and life and possibility and potentiality and expectancy and mystery and magic. It is all of it. And so we just breathe that in. We breathe in the truth that that is the only thing that exists, and therefore it must be each and every one of us. It must be every life event, every conversation, every moment, every situation, every possibility, every potentiality, everything. Everything. And so sitting in this moment of dawn, allowing the light to wash over. I know the truth of divinity for each and every person. Each and every person on live stream, each and every person in the room, each and every person watching the recording, each and every person on this planet, each and every person on planets that we have yet to discover. And so I know that each of us is sitting in our own expectancy of the good that is our divine birthright, that is even now pouring into our lives. And we simply open to it and allow it to flow in. We allow ourselves to channel that goodness that is who we are at our divine birthright. And we allow all of the blessings that are who we are to simply flow forth in us, through us, as us, around us, enveloping and swirling. And we just open ourselves to more and more and more good, more and more blessings. And as we do that, we step more into our own beloved community, knowing that this is true not only for ourselves, but for one another and for the collective whole, that we are stepping into this new dawn and that the light is all we see. And we simply show up and do what is ours to do and allow Spirit to live itself out as each of us, as individualized expressions. I am so grateful for this beloved community, and I am so grateful for the good that is pouring into all of our lives. I am so grateful for the new dawn that is breaking right here and right now in our lives, individually and collectively. And so I simply release my word. I know that it is done as I have spoken, and even greater, that something mysterious and magical and numinous and beautiful and blossoming and principled is even now flowing forth. And so I can just surrender and allow it to be. And so it is. And Jody, we would love to hear another song from you.
Thank you.
Music is another way to enter that expectancy and that mystery. That's beautiful, Jody. Thank you. So this is the time in our service for our offering and our giving. And so just knowing that each and every member of our community is giving of themselves, giving of ourselves in this really beautiful, magical, expectant way. And that everything that you bring, everything that you offer to this community is truly a blessing, and we are so grateful for it. And so if that is your time and your talents, thank you so much. And if that is your treasures and your offerings and your tithes, thank you so much. So there are several different ways that you can give to our center. You are welcome, if you are here in the room, to give into the baskets that are located on either side. And if you are online or at home, you can go to celebrationcenter.org and click on the give button, or go to celebrationcenter.org/donate. Either one will lead you to our secure site where you can give through Breeze, our church management software. And so now I just invite you to bring all of it, all that you are, into your heart, knowing that you truly are a blessing and a gift to us, as we say our offertory affirmation together. I open my heart to give and receive the blessings that our spirits promise to me. As I do, the entire universe conspires to give me an abundant life, and I open to accept it. And so it is.
And so we bless all of these gifts in all forms. We simply hold the idea of this blessing to the center knowing that this blessing is not just for this center, but it goes out into the world. The energy of it goes out and comes back to us, multiplied. The essence of it uplifts our lives, for it is a statement of abundance, whether it's time, treasure, talent. It is a statement of who we are. And so I am grateful for all that is given and all that is received. We simply move forward into this idea of abundance, of light, this new dawn. We are blessed, and so it is.
So it is. And so I just send us all out into this in-between no man's land week to remember the magic that is in the mystery and to sit in the expectancy of our own good for 2022. And so it is.